Hello, it's Nicholas, Sparkles of Gold. You come to this channel, you watch things because I'm an astrologer. And in the past, I've talked about transits and had fun with astrology books and other references in the astrology world, but I always speak my mind on this channel. This video is sort of a reminder of sorts, more for me out of anything. And what you take from this is your thing. As someone who's been studying astrology for a long time, in my own pace and timeline, in and out, but especially since 2007 and 2008 and how my life fundamentally changed and led me down a deeper path in the esoteric world and the astrology world, I find myself at an interesting crossroads. I always have mutated in some sort of way or form in my life. I am always trying to understand when it is time to mutate and when it is time to change. And when things that used to work don't work anymore, you have to come to terms with that and let things go. There's certain things, though, that are constant. Certain things that I know from myself, I will not let go, because it's not even about that. It's about code, my code, and what I stand by and what I stand in. There's certain things. And one of those things is honor and loyalty and love and truth. And so for me, if I'm going to choose my words and make videos overall in the grand scheme and story of this channel, I stick to certain things. One of the things here that's very important to me is what I say in the message I deliver, but how and why I do it, in what way that I do it. Now, sometimes I'm tricky on this channel. I can be sarcastic and I can have fun and play games a little bit, but usually you've seen me on my live streams go on my truth rants and so on and so forth, and I stick by all of that. One thing you've never seen me do is use fear and panic and catastrophe to rope you in to watch a reel, to watch a video. I don't base my practice in that, and my ethics, my code, I don't do that. Am I truthful in what I see, in my opinion, as an astrologer, what happens with you or a client, or even in the bigger picture of things, world and stories and politics? I do, and I have. But what I won't do is use drama, manipulation tactics, over-the-top titles, over-the-top reels, setting up something that ropes you in emotionally, pushes your button emotionally, and using astrology in combination to do that so you comment, like, follow, and inevitably buy something from me. I have to make a living as an astrologer, as most astrologers do, and they have their own way of doing it and their own way of showing themselves and how they express themselves and their view and their opinion on astrology, how they do it, or politics, or whatever else. I got my own version on this channel, you see it, but I think it's an important time in the astrology world, especially online content, that one, and like I'm doing in this video, has to like proclaim something. I'm a believer in we have a power to decide things. We have a choice to how we react to things. We have a choice in many things. There are certain things in life that you don't have a choice over. You can't overrule. You're reacting to things that happen to you as a human being. And we try to master that. I try to master that. I try to remind my clients of this. I try to remind you watching my content of this. And just like anything else in life, and once you get experience, whether it's how you deal with your worth and value and how it's reflected financially, your career, your relations, your love life, family, all the subject matters and themes I just mentioned are pretty much a lot of the reasons why people watch astrology or why they go to an astrologer for reading to get clarity on, because something's happening in one or all of those facets of life, right? And you start to figure out at some point the habits that you have, the things that you do, and the ones that sometimes are repetitive that become challenging, sometimes harmful, but sometimes, most of the time, can put you in a place where you know it is not aligned with what you want and what your code is. But for whatever reasons, you walk there. I've seen many times with clients over the years that I've had reoccurring where they've done things like this, but they've made a switch and they made a turn. They made a choice. And sometimes it happened in one day, but most of the time, it happened over a series of steps. They had to work at something, they had to deprogram themselves, they had to change habits, but most of the time they started to recognize why they made the choices that they did in the past, and could see why they found themselves in certain situations. And they've come to me or other people in other modalities or therapy or whatever, and they're like, oh, I want to change this. I don't want to do that anymore. I'm making the choice to change the story. And there are things that I want to do in the future and have that I'm going to try to get and not do like I used to, basically. And the reason why I'm saying all this is I'm putting it to you. What is the choices that you make? But to narrow it down even more, what is the choices that you make when it comes to following, like me, an astrologer on YouTube, or other YouTube astrologers that you follow, or other TikTok and Instagram astrologers, or Substack people, or astrology threads people you follow? And is it serving you? Is the messages and the people and the resources you're going to serve something for you? Or do you find yourself repeating something? Is your nervous system on fire? Are you in fight or flight mode when you go look at a forecast or read a forecast, or you get roped in emotionally on a dramatic post, dramatic theme, dramatic astrology? It's something I'm going to put to you again, and it's something I've said on this channel and on my media feeds. And I lay low, and I've been laying low lately because I've had other projects in my life, but it's given me, to take a step back a little bit, giving me a little bit more insight to watch. And I know, and some of you know, too, besides me knowing, you know that I'm participating in the community in many different ways besides my own practice. I've been in organizations in the astrology world, part of conferences. I know a lot of people in the business, right? Some on a surface level, some on a deep level. And I've watched over the years what people will do to keep their business alive, how they portray themselves and their views in astrology. Everyone has the freedom to do this. But I cannot help here in this video to notice that most of what I'm seeing these days is based on fear, drama, and catastrophe. You could take any transit, you could take some outer body transits or the things that are happening, or Mars-Uranus transit that's supposed to happen here, and you could say it's going to end the world, it's going to end the country, you could say all things. For me, I have a responsibility to myself and for people watching that the words I use and the way that I do my practice is very important, because if I chose a path of using drama and catastrophe and other manipulative methods because I want to make a lot of money and I want to get a lot of followers, you know, what type of astrologer am I? And in the end, you know, I'm a one-on-one counseling astrologer. If I'm portraying myself a certain way or doing things to rope people in and using any little thing to get on the quickest trend so I can get more likes, more follows, which in a sense leads to more money, and then a client comes through my door, is that how I want to represent myself? And so for me, I make choices, and I make sometimes tough choices because in a sense, I lose in a system, in an algorithm, and in a way. There's plenty of people making a lot of money and have, especially in the last 5 or 6 years in this astrology world. You see them, you follow them, you've probably bought their courses, maybe you've got readings from them, right? But for me, I have to put it to you. Do you want to live or absorb or take in things that, and information and energy that plays with you, that tugs on you, gets you to a place where you're mainlining it, where you need more and more? And do you find yourself affected then in your day-to-day life or with your other friends that you talk to astrology with, and how you portray yourself, portray you in a community, how you portray yourself in the world? Are you waking up fearful, like there's no hope, but still watching the crazy drama, catastrophe video? What do you want? You know, I'm a Saturnian type of guy. I'm cynical as they come, but what I want is things that are uplifting, and I have visions, and I have things that I want that are good, not for myself, but for people that I care about, for my clients, and even the astrology community. And I know most of the time to get those things, it takes a step-by-step process, and it takes a lot of work to do. I don't think there's any shortcuts in something like that. Am I a person, and I could be, where I'll do anything and everything and use astrology and use transits to find a way to get you to buy something, to get you hooked, using basically negative energy? I'm not that person. So I put it to you, and I want you to think about it here, especially in the next week. You know, a lot of the transits here we got this week are coming into the end of the month. We have some transitions coming. You know, Jupiter is going to leave Cancer and go into Leo. We're going to have a Mercury retrograde. Mars is going to go to Gemini. I'm sure you've read and watched all the videos about the shit show that's supposed to happen, or the basket concept, or everything. And astrocartography, whatever it is, calling out, backstabbing, people trying to prove how much they know, everything. And I'm wondering, and I'm looking at it all, and I'm wondering, what is it really all for? I want you to ask yourself that. And whether you're looking at the transits yourself, or you go to any channel, any source of medium, why are you going there? What is it? What is the final story? What is the real reason why you're going there? And in the end, when you wake up and then when you go to sleep at night, what do you really want this to be? What do you want astrology to be in your life? I'm assuming, when it comes down to it, do you want good things? You want positive things, but you want truth. You want to acknowledge real emotions or whatever challenging situations you have, but at some point, you'd like to have some insight, and maybe even some steps and solutions to things. You know that inherently in the end. Whether you hire me or somebody else, or other channels you go to or whatever you absorb, in the end, you know best. And for what I'm saying to you right now is, get back to your core. Get back to the choices that you make in your life, and understand why you choose certain places and certain resources. And inherently, does it serve you well? Does it give you a sense of like groundedness? Even if it's the toughest of things, can you find a place to put your 2 feet on the ground where your nervous system and your brain isn't out of control? So that's my video here. I haven't done anything in a while. I have some plans and I have to disappear here for a little bit, but I'll come back and I'll talk about the transits for my own form, and I'll do my live streams, and I'll do my weekly videos for my members, and I'll have my interviews and book reviews and a lot of other things to try to have some fun, and I'll have my serious stuff too. But what you'll never see me do, you'll never see me play games with you. You'll never see me with a crazy cut video and to stir you up and to use astrology, tarot, or anything in the esoteric occult world to rope you in, to push your buttons so I can make money. It's not that way, all right? That's my little message for you. That's my little free flow thing that I always do on my channel. I lose subscribers when I do stuff like this. I don't care anymore. I don't care. I care about every little action and word that I have, and I try to do it to the best of my ability. And the people that stay here on this channel, the people, the clients or the friends or the people that I meet, my colleagues who really know who I am, know that I stand by what I say, and I will continue to do that. For those who subscribe to my channel and my Patreon, thank you for the support. I have a small group of you, but you are really solid. You're really solid, and you send me messages, and I check them out when I can, and the emails that I get, I check them out when I can, and the clients that I have, the recurring ones that I've had over the years here, I've seen you do work and changes in your life, and I've gotten to know you, and I feel very proud and humbled that I get to hear your stories and do my best to facilitate and help you when I can. Not using drama, not using manipulation tactics, and definitely not using catastrophe. You feel me? Truth, honor, loyalty, love. That's me, Nicholas, Sparkles of Gold.